And as a little third video for your wonderful Sunday, I love how Trump comes out and says, I just found out through three sources, intelligence sources, I was being spied on. He was pissed. That's absurd. How dare he say that? He owes everybody an apology. He should be impeached. And then it came out. What was the word they were using? Incidental. He may have incidentally been included in this surveillance that did actually happen. Oh, so first of all, he's right. Second of all, you're trying to make it sound like he wasn't quite right, but was a little bit right because people around him, directly next to him, were being spied on. And it was incidental that he got scooped up in there too. I can't wait to see where this goes. And then you had this other guy come out. What was his name? Not Devin Nunes, the guy who, the House Intelligence, whatever his title was. There's another guy. I thought that had just come out that, I don't know if he went to the White House. Maybe it was Nunes. I can't really remember now. But it's absolute proof positive. And he said, the FBI is not working with us. They still haven't responded to our letter. But the NSA is what he said. Zero Hedge has an article. NSA to provide smoking gun proof. Obama spied on Trump. Yesterday, Republican Devin Nunes, held an explosive press conference outside the White House in which he told reporters that communications from the Trump team were picked up and disseminated within the government during the 2016 campaign. Not surprisingly, the comments ruffled some liberal feathers, and the mainstream media launched an immediate smear campaign calling for Nunes to resign his post immediately. How dare you say that? Now, according to Fox News sources, congressional investigators expect that potential smoking gun info from the NSA establishing that the Obama administration spied on Trump, at least the transition team, and again, from what he said, it looked like they got him too, and it says, and possibly the president-elect himself, will be produced to the House Intelligence Committee as early as tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is right now when I'm doing this video, but I haven't heard any updates yet. It's the 25th, Saturday night. Not that it will matter. We'll hear about this shortly, I'm sure. The intelligence is said to leave no doubt the Obama administration in its closing days was using the cover of legitimate surveillance on foreign targets to spy on President-elect Trump, according to the sources. The FBI has not been responsive to the House Intelligence Committee's request for documents, but the National Security Agency is expected to produce documents to the committee by Friday, which again, haven't heard anything yet. The NSA document production is expected to produce more intelligence than Nunes has so far seen or described, including what one source described as a potential smoking gun establishing the spying. Classified intelligence showing an incidental collection of Trump team communications, purportedly seen by Committee Chairman Devin Nunes, Republican, California, and described by him in vague terms at a bombshell Wednesday afternoon news conference, came from multiple sources. Capitol Hill sources told Fox News. The intelligence corroborated information about surveillance of the Trump team that was known to Nunes. Sources said even before President Trump accused his predecessor of having wiretapped him in a series of now infamous tweets posted on March 4th. The key to that conclusion is the unmasking of selected U.S. persons whose names appeared in the intelligence, the sources said, adding that the paper trail leaves no other plausible purpose for the unmasking other than to damage the incoming Trump administration. Or, I'll add one, to give it to Clinton, prior to the actual election taking place, to let her know what her enemy's doing. Now, they're saying, well, this wasn't before, this was just during the transition. If it was just during the transition, why would you, as Barack Obama or any official at that point, after he already won, go and spy on everything, Unless they really thought maybe the elections were rigged in their favor, and we need to find communications that are proving to themselves that they rigged it, as if they'd actually openly talk about that. Doesn't really make sense to me. And I think maybe, just maybe, when this gets out and we finally, these people get to see the whole scope of it, we may find, oh, he's been spied on way before that. Before the election, during the election, and after the election. That's what I think will happen, but I have no proof of that. So we'll see what happens. Because Nunes' intelligence came from multiple sources during a span of several weeks, and he has not shared the actual materials with his committee colleagues, he will be the only member of the panel in a position to know whether the NSA has turned over some or all of the intelligence he is citing. If true, of course, this could put a slight taint on Obama's claim of a scandal-free 8 years in the White House. For those who missed it, here's Nunes' press conference from yesterday, which I'll link the Zero Hedge article so you can read this and watch this if you want to. Again, the FBI is not cooperating with the House of Representatives' investigation into the NSA surveillance of the Trump campaign during the 2016 election. The chairman of the U.S. House Permanent Select Committee, Devin Nunes, said in a press conference on Wednesday afternoon, in the aftermath of today's most stunning news report, namely the confirmation that Trump may have been right all along, following the admission of House Intel Committee Chair Devin Nunes that the communications of Trump's aides and the president himself had been incidentally monitored. Nunes held an explosive press conference outside the White House in which he told reporters that communications from the Trump team were picked up and disseminated within the government during the 2016 campaign. Nunes said sources within the intelligence community presented him with the information. He spoke to the press after briefing the administration. Nunes said that he had briefed the president about his concerns over the incidental collection of data, adding that the president needs to know that these intel reports exist, and added ominously that some of what I've seen seems to be inappropriate. Nunes also said that Trump, others in the transition team, were put into the intelligence report and asked if Trump should be in these normal reports. But what was perhaps most troubling in Nunes' presser is that in the aftermath of Monday's congressional hearing with James Comey, in which the FBI director said on the record there had been no surveillance of Trump, is the House Intel Committee's chair statement that the FBI is also not cooperating with the investigation. We don't actually know yet officially what happened to General Flynn, Nunes said, of how communications from General Flynn's calls were leaked to the press. We just know that his name leaked out, but we don't know how it was picked up yet. That was one of the things that we asked for in the March 15th letter, was for the NSA, CIA, and FBI to get us all the unmasking that was done. And I'll tell you, NSA is being cooperative. But so far, the FBI has not told us whether or not they're going to respond to our March 15th letter, which is now a couple of weeks old, he said. Nunes also reported that as of now, he cannot rule out President Obama ordering the surveillance himself. Not until he gets the rest of it. Finally, and contrary to earlier media reports, Nunes clarified that the surveillance was not related to the FBI's investigation into possible collusion with Russia. So isn't that interesting? It wasn't even the reason. The surveillance, he emphasized to reporters, does not have anything to do with Russia. As a reminder, this has been the straw man argument proposed by much of the liberal media, which has said that a wiretapping of Trump or his aides would only confirm that his relations with Russia were suspect and thus prompted a FISA warrant. If Nunes is correct and Trump was being wiretapped for reasons having nothing to do with Russia, that entire narrative falls apart, and the press will now have to spend their next few weeks building up an entirely new narrative to justify why Trump was being wiretapped on Obama's watch. Again, I want this thing to blow sky high, and I want them to show that it was Obama who actually ordered it too. So for all the liberal left to see, yes, your best pal Obama did it, and everything you thought about Trump is completely wrong, and he's absolutely crushing you. He's destroying you. Your narrative is falling apart at the seams every freaking day. But we're going to have to wait a little bit until we get more on this report. And I'll tell you, I can't wait to hear about this. And again, all I think about is the WebBot. March timeframe. Last report from February. March timeframe. political chaos, market chaos, it's coming. And I think it's been pretty accurate to say the least this month. The politics are going crazy right now. So anyways, we'll just have to kind of sit back and see where this goes. But your pal Jason M4 will be all over this. When I hear anything else, I'll be absolutely doing some videos on it. So take care.